Started, Stacia. All right, so happy hump day, as Marvella and I like to say. Thank you for that, Marvella. Appreciate it. We'll never let it go. So, all right, so this is our sales meeting, and I wanted to obviously we're going to kick things off with our core partners, but today is a little bit different because of the rebranding and the redoing of property management. There were some questions that came up about how that affects, us as agents in cooperation and partnership with the Home Services Property Management Division of Long & Foster now. And so we've invited Home Services Property Management to join us for this meeting today and maybe answer some of those questions. Hey, Eden, thank you for being here. So without any further ado, I would like to go ahead and kick things over to Kelly Mahardy, who is the Regional Director of Property Management, as I understand, so that she can maybe offer some clarification to us and how we should go forward. So, yeah, this is good. Yeah, as long as you can see yourself, we can see you.
So I'm Kelly Mahardy, and I'm coming out of Williamsburg, where I have my own portfolio that I manage. And I also oversee our Yorktown office, and this is David Notvet. He's our broker and property manager down there in Yorktown, and this is Michelle Goldberg. She's down here in the Tempsville sales office.
Welcome.
So thank you for having us.
Yes.
We just wanted to talk a little bit about the Home Services Property Management. So we did just rebrand from Long & Foster Property Management for many obvious reasons. Why the brand change? Creates business opportunities. We hope to do a national platform at some point, which opens up tons of opportunities for our agents that we work with as a core partner. Strategic decoupling and reputational distance for obvious reasons. Long & Foster Property Management, maybe not so hot in years past. In 2018, when Patrick Bain and Karen Reifert came on the scene, we've done a lot of changes. We've got rid of owners and properties who were less desirable of a property to deal with, and it's more about quality instead of quantity. We've taken our team, we've re-established a lot of different things, and we're moving forward with a great foot forward, especially if you have investment owners. We're going to be geared toward next gen property management for the investor owner would be ideal. So impact on our agents. So we manage properties, we don't sell them. We have no interest in selling them. We're a partner for you and your investors, and we have a committed relationship to our agent of records. So still, you're bringing in the property as an agent of record. Because we are Home Services and we're no longer Long & Foster, we have our own MLS and our own brokerage codes. So the properties do have to be marketed by the property manager. We will have our customer service team, which is geared up to accept leads and sort of fan them out a little bit, make sure that they're a solid lead based on our prerequisites. And then we fan them out to the agent of record as a partner. So if it's your property that you brought into management, we're happy to work with you, send you all the leads. On that side, the commission going to the agent bringing the tenant is now 60%. So we're trying to compensate for that. Instead of, we used to do the 50 split. It is still 50% of the first month's rent, but 60% of that is going to.
Which agent?
Who brings the renter.
Okay.
Okay. Also, if we have an investor who's maybe looking for a brand new property and doesn't have an agent of record, we would be looking for you to assist us and taking that referral and going out and getting more properties. That referral is down to 25%. It used to be 40, where if it sold and we referred it out.
Just come a little bit closer. We back up sometimes and we get out of camera.
Sorry.
Yeah,
You're not the camera.
Yeah,
Yes, the microphone is up there.
right, and that she was getting softer every time she backed out. She was getting fainter in sound. So trying to bring it,
It's
trying
okay.
to bring it.
The hybrid thing takes some getting used to.
So agent of record, or if we, agent of record and we refer it back to you to sell, there's no referral fee at all, obviously. That has not changed.
Good.
It's just if we're looking to you to help an owner we already have to go out and purchase a property, that referral fee is down to 25%. It used to be a 40% referral from management to sales.
That's really good.
That's
So,
really good.
yeah, we used to have to pay 40% for that. Now we only have to pay 25% referral fee for that. If you send us an
An
owner.
owner that belongs to no one. It's
Okay,
a company listing. We're gonna enlist you to sell or help him buy something else.
okay.
It's gonna be 25%. If you're the agent of record, obviously it's zero.
There's no,
That person is always your client.
Alright.
We keep them for you, keep the property, keep it well maintained, well managed until it's ready to go back to you to sell.
Okay.
So what we do have now available to investment owners, we're gonna do asset performance reviews. So a true investor, we're gonna be available to work with them at the end of the year, work on their investment itself, how to get more revenue, how to get more cash flow.
I'm sorry, I have a question.
Sure.
Good morning. How do you determine which agent you're gonna ask for assistance?
So that's what I'm getting to here.
I'm sorry.
That's okay. We're gonna be offering investment training for any agent who is interested, free of charge, with Forrest Odenhall. I'm sure you've heard of him.
Sure.
From headquarters in Long and Foster.
Yeah.
So we want to build a sphere of agents that want to work with us to build our investment portfolios. So that's going to be coming out in May. I'm not sure if I think they're going to be Zoom, and they're going to start with agents, known agents of records, with an invite that if you want to participate in this course, it's free of charge. And then you'll become part of that network to work with investors. Now, doesn't mean you're never going to get a referral. It just means they're trying to divert things in one path. So we're all experienced working with that investor. We can all sit down and work together to build their portfolio. Does that answer your question?
Yes, thank you.
You're welcome. What
Yes.
else? Just another thought about home services. We do have 24/7 customer service. So an agent, your owner, your client, anybody always has someone available to talk to should we take the call. That's about it. I mean, we're here to work with you as a team.
How do we know geographically who to contact if we have someone who's interested in,
So
connecting property
Michelle's
management?
in the Kempsville office, and we cover all of Virginia Beach area, Chesapeake, Suffolk. We are starting to divert a little of the Suffolk area to David out of Yorktown because it's actually a little bit closer. And just for what purpose?
You can just call any property manager. And
Yeah.
if I can't do it, I'll tell you to call Michelle, or if she can't do it, she'll tell you to call me. So
We all work together.
there's no
so-
real territory where this office does this. It's all overlapping and depending on the location of the property.
How much information on a prospective client, landlord, owner do you need from us if we want to pass along someone's information to you? Is it just name, email, phone number, and then you're gonna
Property
reach out? I
address.
mean,
Property address.
that's a hot lead.
That's a
to
hot
you?
lead.
Okay,
Then we can do some research on the property address, get some figures together, and then
Contact the
reach
homeowner.
out to the homeowner.
okay, all right.
Do you have anything you wanted to add about some paperwork you brought?
Well, my paperwork's about once we have a listing, how you apply. So we are not a division of Long and Foster anymore. We were part of the Long and Foster sales, a division. Now we're a separate entity with a separate brokerage, and that's why we're listing them ourselves. Where before we were part of Long and Foster, so Long and Foster agents listed it on. But the reason for that was for marketing purposes, but also so you give us a lead and you don't have to worry about the MLS or doing anything. We take care of it all. It should make it easier for you so you can focus on your selling business. Because that's the reason for property management, is so you can give us the property and hold it for a year or two And then when it goes for sale, it goes back to you, and there's no commission. It goes back, so we're warehousing. That's all. But we still want to give you the leads when they come in. You can build your Moxie, which helps your sale, because that's what we're focused on now. Your Moxie. And I think you can do a separate folder for tenants only. Can't you do that in Moxie?
Certainly could.
Yeah, so you could
absolutely.
market to them with different messages.
Mhm, absolutely.
Yeah, because it's a numbers game. It's always been a numbers game in real estate.
So you guys aren't necessarily out showing these properties
are
that
not.
We are not.
you
When
listed.
we, when we
She
list,
said, oh, hell no.
Thank you, everybody.
when we list the property, it goes on the Long and Foster website. We'll
Uh,
have our name and everything, but the leads go to the broker. And the broker gives it, usually to the duty agent or the agent who's doing the showings for that property. And we'll let you know about it. So it's still agent related, but it's still confusing to me a little bit
It
because
is a
it's not
little
the
bit.
standard model.
And it's a little bit because I know I heard you talking with Linda about this Ashford property, right? And Ashford, I'm guessing you probably got a ton of leads on that Ashford property. Yeah, well, so did I.
Mhm,
And
because you're
so,
the broker.
yeah, and so are they the same leads? Are they a duplicate of that lead? And the reason I'm asking is because
No,
some of those leads I give to other agents.
no, if they call in on the number from the website, the Long Front, it goes to our customer service center.
Hmm,
They look it up and they see that she's already agreed to show,
Okay,
so they send them to her.
okay,
The ones you're getting, I think, are the ones who click on the website
okay,
and they go to the broker for that area.
okay. All right, so there
So
shouldn't
then you
be,
get them. and you
shouldn't be
should
any
forward.
overlap there.
Yeah, there
Okay,
shouldn't be.
all right.
Okay, well, I have a question then.
Yeah,
How would they get the office phone number? Because we got a phone call yesterday on that particular property, specific direct to the office, not asking for an agent.
I don't
Like
know
a
because
specific
I don't
agent.
give out your number.
Hmm,
So I think it's got to do with the Long and Foster website. So
Okay.
you can look up a listing of ours there and you'll see it's got my picture if I listed it. But I don't get the leads directly.
Right. It
I
was
don't know
just weird.
why.
Yesterday I got one, I looked it up. It was, actually I already had Linda's name on it, so I just,
It had Linda's name on the listing?
yeah, because it looked like she was the renting agent. On one of them, she's the renting agent.
Is it showing agent or
Yeah,
renting
no.
agent?
Well, the showing agent will show up on the listing because we can't.
No, it was like pending or something. I don't know.
You're looking in the MLS, her
Oh, yeah.
having
I am.
an application
Right,
got
right.
approved. So we
That's
put her
different.
name in the MLS.
Okay.
Right, I look up the properties before I forward them on to see who it is.
Yeah,
I'm-
if you
I'm
saw
trying to-
her name and it's pending, then that should
Mhm.
trigger you knowing it's already been somebody approved.
Right. Oh, yeah, that wasn't a problem, but it was just weird because it came through the office telephone. That's why I was asking.
That is.
Where would they get the office phone number from?
Don't
It might
act on it
Google Long
immediately and then
Foster.
later say, oh, that was Long
Yeah, because
Foster
the
and
property
Google it.
owners
right.
and stuff.
That's right.
So it's not always coming directly.
Yeah.
Well,
I'm glad to know there's not a lot of overlap or hopefully no overlap between the leads that are being routed between agents. Yeah, I would hate to have, like, I mean, we had, I don't know, man, there must have been 20 Ashford leads that came into my
Wow.
email. It was more than that. Yeah, and so
It's like this
Yeah.
market, yeah, when there's.
the last thing you
property on
want to
the
do is
market.
have 25 different people inquiring about the same property. So,
Right.
I try to keep those consistent with one agent. So, yeah. Good.
so that's all. Thank you for your time.
Yeah,
You have my card. I'm
Yes.
always available. If
I have
you
cards
give me a hard
for
time.
Kelly and I have cards for David as well. So you guys are welcome to grab these.
Well, once it's on the market, it's easy to rent, and that's what I brought is a handout on how to apply. Everything is online.
And everyone always asks, so
Yeah.
You just go to
so-
the Long and Foster website,
for now.
look up the address.
Okay,
And when you get used to that, we'll change it.
yeah.
And if you guys want to leave a bunch of your cards, I can stick them in the box up front.
Yeah, I've got some.
Yeah.
There's a good little stack here.
And we'll get some
Okay.
of the brochures out and you
Okay.
could just keep them in the office. And if somebody wants to present it to an owner, it goes,
Okay.
it talks all about everything that we offer.
Yeah, we've got spaces we can put that.
Excellent. Thank you all.
Cool.
No problem.
Yeah, thanks for coming, Kelly.
Yeah, no
Michelle,
problem.
Thank you.
David. Thank you. Any questions for these guys before they book on out of here? Linda, rental superstar?
I'll wait, we can go outside, ask our question.
Everybody to hear the question.
No, everyone to
uh,
hear it.
She's rented more properties than property managers, I'm sure. So she had over 20 last year. Yeah.
I have a question
Yes.
as far as the rentals. Hi, David. Are you all still getting 50 for each property? I know that's an exaggerated
I mean,
number,
what's
but
the commission? The commission is 50% of 1 month's rent. That's what we charge the owner.
no, that's not what I'm asking. I'm asking as far as people putting in applications for rentals.
The application fee is $55. No.
No.
I don't think
Just
you're
ask
asking
me
it
the
right,
question
Marvella.
again.
Okay.
She's asking how many people are applying for each house.
Oh, it's busy.
Yeah.
So I put a house on the market in Hampton on Friday, and I had 14 applications on Monday morning. 2 of them were passing that we could work with, so we turned the others down, put it into pending, and worked with the 2 and the owner to decide who would get it.
Is that normally the process? Because there's some speculation that, property managers are sitting on listings so they can collect those application fees
No,
as a form of
it just
profit.
happens too
We
fast.
don't
The
wanna work-
opposite.
We want it off the market as soon as we can, because now I got 12 people to turn down.
Everyone we
Okay.
decline has to have a adverse action letter with an explanation. That's a DocuSign, that's an email, we don't
Okay.
want, we want one application, approve it and draft that. to
As soon as one's approved, I put it into pending.
Okay.
How soon does your application get approved? I'm dealing with renters right now, so I'm curious because it's
Yeah,
$50 every time. So,
It depends, because we don't necessarily approve and do the lease without the owner. So it's like you get a contract for a sale. Do you approve it right away and say agreed? No, you give it to your owner. And sometimes they're quick and sometimes they take 3 days to reply. But I do email them, and then I call them, and then I text them and try to push them to do it faster. But if I have more than one that's passed, that I know one's gonna get, I'll put it into pending. So that takes it off the website.
okay,
But still, like I took it off the website yesterday, and I got another application this morning. Because that person started the application before I took it off, didn't finish it. You can go back, you don't have to do it all at once. So they waited. It wasn't
So-
because I was doing anything.
do they get their money back? Because
No,
it's
because
already
if we
pending.
Process it, we need to pay for the expenses of getting that report. So they
So there's
don't.
So there's no way, even if somebody is in the process and it becomes pending, that your website can shut that down and just say, sorry, we are no longer accepting applications.
There's no way for us to tell them, because I wouldn't even know who's applying. Their agent can check. A lot of agents will call my office and say, is it still available? I know several agents called this morning and I said no.
Okay, thank you.
Because
I have a quick question, and you may have already addressed this and I might have missed it. But do you only handle residential, or do you also handle like commercial properties where I'm, like townhome communities, that type of thing?
It's residential, including townhomes and condos, but they're individual,
Okay,
an association or a commercial.
okay.
what causes an application to fail?
Well, we look at 3 things. And the computer, when they apply, looks at those 2 and sends us a report that says pass or fail. The main thing is the credit. And you look at several things in the credit, including the credit score. So the credit score has to be, I don't know, should I look that way or that way?
Look that way.
I just go back and forth.
It doesn't matter. We're used to seeing the back ahead.
I haven't been in a meeting with half Zoom and half real.
It's cool, right?
Which way do you look?
Both.
The minimum credit score is 600 points.
600.
So it'll say pass if it's 600 or higher, or it'll say fail if it's below. We'll still look at it. Then they'll look at delinquencies and collections and bankruptcies. So it's 4 things we look at in that credit report. And they all have to be passed to pass that.
What are the requirements you have?
Well, the income, we're looking for approximately 3 times the rent amount. So if the rent is 2,000, we're looking for an income of $6,000 gross income. And then we're looking for a good rental history or housing history, housing payment history, which would include mortgage payments or rental history. So it's 3 things.
Good.
No judgments,
Well, it depends how old the judgment is. If it's a real estate judgment,
Right,
we
what
really look at that a lot and turn them down.
no evictions, none.
Gonna say failed.
Can't have a, can't have. an
I asked
eviction.
them
Okay.
Fail.
Now, if you guys say fail,
If the computer says fail,
okay, if the computer says fail,
yeah,
you still give that application to the landlord?
I still
mean, the
tell the
owner?
landlord about it, yeah.
And,
I might not tell her all the details, it depends, like if I got 15 applications, I'm just gonna tell her 12 of them failed, 2 passed, here are the 2, so I'm just gonna talk to her about the 2 that passed. If it's been on the market like 5 or 6 years ago, where they were on the market for 3 or 4 weeks and we got 3 applications and they all failed, I'd tell her about all the 2 failed to see if she wanted to override. But right now, in the current market, we only take people who pass.
Yeah.
It's
Makes
hard.
sense.
Jason, I got a question up here.
Yes.
When did the transition take place from 2 times the rent for income to 3? Because 3 times seems a little unrealistic expectation for a lot of people, or y'all just using that to weed folks out?
Yeah, it's been 3 times for a long time.
It's
Has it
been
really?
for a long time, but different places might have it a little different.
Yeah,
Okay, all
I
right.
think it used to be stricter,
yeah.
but in our market, it's a little easier than it is in other markets.
I've always, yeah,
Yeah.
I remember seeing 3 times for
Mhm.
years.
Which is 33% ratio, but I've seen it where it was 38%.
And is that combined household income?
Yes,
That's what I was just gonna say, if it is a roommate situation,
Yeah,
then technically they each need to be making that 3 times amount. Now, ultimately, it's up to the owner, and so
Okay.
I would still present it to the owner that way, but ultimately, they need to be each. If it's, they're together,
Yeah.
married,
couple,
together, then it's
Okay.
a lot.
okay.
Would you all give them their own separate lease, or they both on one lease?
Name one lease.
one lease, one property.
Okay,
Fully responsible each.
Each individual is fully responsible,
Which is why,
but
if
they're
the
on
roommate
one
leaves,
lease.
then that other roommate is
stuck
responsible
there.
for the full lease.
Okay,
That's why, that's the reason.
all right, thank you.
That's also why I was asking the question about the application fees, because I'm dealing with a rental property for 4 roommates. So that means every single time they're putting in an application, it's, $200.
yeah,
Yeah, it
Yeah.
adds up because each one has to be screened.
that's brutal.
Yeah,
Yeah,
so it is a lot of money, but it's each one's paying separately, so.
yeah,
And it's not really our money. We work with a
Right.
third-party vendor through our rental service center that
Right.
actually facilitates the credit reporting. So we're not really making any money. You can't legally make money off of it. There's
right.
only a certain amount that you can charge per reading the law. So.
So it's not a form of profit.
No, it's not. It's not a
So
profit
I do have a question, because I know this has been brought up before.
Yeah.
If, say they pay the application fee, they fill it out, you guys get the stuff back, and they don't get that property, but they qualified, what do they have to do in that point if they're gonna apply on another property?
The
Another-
application can be transferred to another property and they just have to email us or their
Okay.
agent email us. They're transferring it to this, but it has to be another Long and Foster or Home
Right.
Services property.
Okay,
David, also, does it have to be within a 30-day?
Yes.
We do about 30 days. Yeah, but if it was 32 days, it would be. Okay.
Okay, so, I mean, that's something,
Mhm.
right? I mean, you got 30 days to get them into another house before they have to pay that damn fee
another
again.
lot, home services.
Yeah, yeah, okay, all
Or
right.
Long and Foster, because if it's a non-managed rental, it would be Long and Foster.
Okay.
Right,
And we use
That-
leasing services and you would use leasing services. So
that's only if you're using leasing services for the credit report. If you're not using leasing services for the credit report portion of the application, then, and you're doing your, say you're managing your own property, then you deal with the situation yourself. But leasing services will do that too. That I knew, but I wasn't sure with the new way if it worked the same.
Now, I've got my own 4, 5 rentals. I always list with the Long and Foster agent because I want that report and I don't get a discount. There's not a lot of profit but in property management, but it builds up because you get a little bit from each property.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, but I do list my properties with Long and Foster when they go on the market.
So and I'm guessing they're self-managed.
Yeah, I
Right.
manage them myself and do
Okay.
non-management as an agent.
So if we have someone that wants to bring their property to management, they want to manage it themselves, but they want us, they want Randall, they want me or somebody to help them market
Mhm.
their property and secure a tenant, that's considered self-managed
Yeah.
because
Yes.
that landlord is going to collect the monthly payments. And, you know, they're going to evict them, they're going to do the inspection, they're going to do all that stuff.
In,
Right. So what do we charge for that?
Well, the non-management is a Long and Foster product.
It-
Ah,
home
So,
service. And
I
it's
can answer
1 month
those
rent.
questions.
You
okay.
got
That's
it?
it. I can actually answer those questions. That's an exclusive right to rent. If you
Yes.
ever look in the MLS and it says ERR, that's a self-managed property. It's the commission agreement is whatever y'all agree on. Usually it's 1 month's rent, where whatever is decided to go to the other side, which a lot of times you'll see the 25% and then 75% of the first month's rent goes to the listing agent. Then of course it'll be at your split because it's over the 300 threshold, but you do paperwork with me.
Lot of paperwork.
Yeah, yeah, there's paperwork that we have to fill out. You would then fill out a listing agreement, a data input sheet, and all the forms you get signed by the owner. We also submit that up to leasing services, who puts it in the system, assuming your client wants us to pull the credit. And then it gets the same little application button on the websites, and then they deal with the owner with the credit report. They'll get it in their email, and not you. You don't get it, the owner does.
And that's all the work that we take over when you give it to us.
Right.
We'll get the listing agreement, we'll
Gotcha.
get the MLS input sheet, we'll put the data in.
And what do we charge? And what does home service property management charge a landlord?
Non-management, Long and Foster,
Right,
it's
right.
1 month, or you
Right.
can negotiate. We
Yeah.
charge half a month's rent,
Okay.
so it gives them a little break.
And do they have to have money in escrow for repairs and
Yes.
$500.
Yes.
$500? Okay, is there like an upfront
95 startup fee.
$95 startup
And
fee,
then 10% management.
10% management per month of the monthly rent?
Yep.
Okay, $500 in a repair account. Okay,
What happens when an applicant is denied?
Well, if they weren't chosen, it might not be that they failed, it could be they just weren't chosen. They get a letter from us using the email, and it tells them the reason where they can get a copy of the report, and then we call them also.
How long does it normally take for you to notify them?
Well, today's Wednesday, and I got those 14 applications on Monday morning. That's fresh in my mind. That's a lot to work with.
so they've all been.
But I did them
notified.
all yesterday.
Okay, so
But they've
really
been
quick,
calling me since Monday morning to
Right.
tell me they got their application.
right,
So normally about a day or so.
yeah.
Yeah, usually we get the application in 6 to 12 hours. It comes to us, and we're after they apply, and then we can look at it and decide how to.
Because I had somebody contact me and say, well, I put in an application for Ashford. And just wondering what's going on. It's like, well, did they contact you? It's like, well, it's showing pending. So if they haven't contacted you, you probably didn't get it, but expect
No, they should have been notified by now.
that was yesterday. So
Yeah, some people apply Friday night, and they don't get it till Monday morning.
I say on average, please tell your tenants
48 hours.
48
To
hours.
be, you need to have a little time
Wiggle
to
room.
breathe, and there's
Yeah.
only 24 hours in a day, and sometimes we're really overwhelmed with that process. But
14
it could be less, but let's just go with the 48 hours so that they're not disappointed.
All right.
Okay.
I'm
Good.
done. Linda?
Make sure you tell them 48 business day hours.
Right.
Right. Yeah, so Saturday, Sunday doesn't count.
Clarify that Saturday and Sunday's a no-go.
That's right.
48 hours
Business days.
compared to A week to 10 days, you guys are really great, because I have clients, they're saying, Miss Linda, it's been a week, I haven't heard anything. I'll say, okay, I'll call. I call, right? And the agent said, listen, I got 50 applications.
Yeah.
We get them back pretty quick to us.
Yes, you
When
do,
they apply, and then it takes time to reach the owner because they're not usually here,
right.
and go over with the owner.
Good.
Okay, well, thank you all.
Thank
Thank
you.
you.
Thank you. Yeah. Appreciate you guys coming out. This
Okay.
has been
We have
really,
to
really
rock and
enlightening.
roll.
Yeah.
Believe me.
We will,
We snuck it in to get here, but,
we will definitely have David and Michelle back from time to time to
Yes.
participate in our meetings.
they would love to be here.
Maybe next time I'll actually be in the office.
That's right.
I don't mind either.
You won't be on PTO.
Spring break.
Spring break. That's so funny.
Give it a few minutes. You might see a child walk by.
Oh. All right.
All the things we'll bring.
We're going to continue the tradition of hearing from our core partners for our sales meetings. Thank you, property management, for being here. Let's talk to Dawn Kay,
All
our
right,
favorite insurance agent.
you're only insurance agent, so I have to be your favorite, right? I'm gonna talk about everybody's favorite issue, flood insurance.
Ah.
I know
Oh.
but it's something you need to know. So I want to talk about their new risk rating system 2.0. This is FEMA's new system that went into effect at the beginning of this year. Basically, they put it into place to help close the gap between properties that are more likely to flood and properties that are less likely. So they're kind of shifting the premium to the higher areas of flooding.
Okay.
The National Flood Insurance Program has a $2 billion deficit right now between what they are collecting in premiums and what they expect to pay out in flood claims. So this new rating system is their effort to close that gap. Basically, what that means is flood insurance premiums are all over the place, but that's not a bad thing because I've done quite a few flood zone quotes recently, and some of the higher risk flood zones are coming back under $1,000, which is pretty impressive. So $700-800 for flood insurance for properties in high risk flood zone is not bad. So they're trying to make it a little more equitable. The other thing, right now, if you have sellers or if you have buyers, let's say, and they're looking at a property that's in a high risk flood zone, and the seller has a flood insurance policy in place, the best thing to do to get the most affordable rate is to just have them transfer that policy to the buyer, because it's going to be based on old rates. So they'll get a more affordable flood quote. So just keep that in mind, because most policies are transferable. That's something you'll have to work with through the seller, because I'm kind of out of that loop. So just keep that in mind. The other thought, and this doesn't really affect you guys, but I just want to put it out there. People who are in current flood zones that have flood insurance are probably going to see an increase if their flood zone is higher than what they are paying in premium. And FEMA is saying like 12 to 18% increase annually in their flood insurance. So that's pretty big. So that's for existing homeowners.
Wow.
Yeah, so, but other than that, I mean, home and auto insurance, I hate to say it, premiums are going up also just because everything else is. We've got inflation and, supply chain issues. So that's impacting home and auto rates also. But I will say that Long and Foster insurance carriers, we're still seeing that we're very competitive against some of the other companies. So again, if you guys need flood zone determinations, I can still do quotes. We don't need elevation certificates to do a flood quote now, so I can get the quotes out to you a little quicker. But just remember, they're estimates, because all of the flood quotes have to go through underwriting for approval once we have a completed application. So I can give you a general idea. But homeowners insurance, auto insurance, any of that good stuff, you guys have questions, just call me or email me. So anybody have any questions?
Just to confirm, you said if a property owner already has flood insurance, it might be in the buyer's best interest to see if that policy is transferable.
Yes, because that's probably gonna be based on old rates before this new rating system came in, so that it may be more affordable. I mean, I can still do a quote to find out how much it is, and if it's, you know, crazy
Okay.
high, then we can always check with the seller
Okay.
and see if you can get that policy transferred to the new buyer. That's what most people are doing and have been doing for a while, just because rates have been so crazy for a while.
Okay.
But that is the best way to go about it.
Very good.
So who would actually do that? Would we refer them to you, or would we contact the, I guess the seller would contact the insurance company, huh?
Yes, if it's the seller's policy, he would have to contact his agent and they could find out whether it's transferable or not.
Okay.
Excellent question, Marvella.
Yeah, good, good, good.
Any other questions? All right, thanks, guys.
Give me a minute, I'll think of one. So quick.
She'll be there all day. You can ask her later.
I know you guys are busy, so I don't like to take up too much of your time. I just,
No.
let's cut to the
Well,
chase.
thank you, thank you. Glad
I'm
you're
the
here.
only one busy.
How are things at Sage Title Group, Mr. Bryant?
Well, Sage is good, good. I know the inventory is low, but the pollen count is high.
Yes,
Yes.
yes, the pollen count,
Oh, my gosh.
so high.
It hit me this week, I swear.
I like that.
I don't
There's
know.
no point in washing your car.
These
It's
are
too funny.
nothing but cakes today.
Oh, yes, thank you,
Fun
thank you, you son of a gun.
And we also have Buffalo Wild Wing,
Now you're talking.
okay, $25.
Oh,
Whoever
I
wins
gotta
that
do the
is taking
wheel.
me.
So, do we have a wheel?
Give me a
Yeah,
minute.
yeah. Yes, he's gonna have a wheel in just a second.
Who's got a wheel? Good.
Yeah.
Good. I wanted to remind y'all on the auction class, which I've
Yes.
been waiting day by day for this.
Yes,
It's
me
next
too.
Wednesday, 1 o'clock. A lot of people have signed up already, but there's still time. It's a free 1 hour CE class, and Matt is gonna teach you how to do the auctions, how to get new websites, how to really, I think, increase possibly inventory. I don't know. But this is gonna be a great class. So if you haven't signed up, please do. You just click on the button. So it's still time. We can send out another email or a thing on Friday or.
I'll be sure to put it in the TGIF this week.
TGIF. Love
Yeah.
the TGIF. Always learn something there.
Thank you.
We have some paydays. And thank you all for sending a lot of orders because I saw a lot of closings coming up. I know Sharon, we have one Monday, so thank you, and so many of you all.
Yeah,
So we appreciate it.
it's been a good couple of months.
Yeah, so
Yeah,
better numbers coming ahead from what I saw in the closing. So the report should be looking really good from this point.
that's right, that's right.
So we had, let's see, we had, who's here? Evelyn.
Evelyn.
You had a
Yay,
closing.
All right.
Yay.
Payday, payday.
Awesome. And if I forget anybody, just let me know, please, because, Shane, I had you down for 2. I don't know.
Online.
If that's the accurate, how are we gonna?
Just sit them right
Set
there.
'em right
Yeah,
here.
yeah,
Okay.
yeah. I'll make sure they get in his mailbox.
Yeah,
Yeah.
thank you.
Yeah.
Make sure, Jason.
Yeah, Jason. I had you down for 2. I don't know.
I love paydays.
I
I
know you
can't.
like those paydays. I like that.
Thank
too.
you, thank you,
That's nice.
thank you.
So
Appreciate it.
congratulations.
Thank you.
And we just-
Michael Gray, I know we had one at the end of the month. He's
Yeah.
traveling.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
And we were.
Yes, he's gonna spend the night at the Conjuring
Oh.
House.
Yes,
Lindsay Gordon Manson.
yes, he's crazy. Yeah.
Eden.
Eden, I saw Eden.
She was there.
She was there.
Oh, did we do?
That's the last thing I need.
Yeah, Eden's on here. So Eden, you have a payday?
I would be running.
Okay, was there anybody else? I've got a few more.
Yeah, if you don't mind. Yeah, that'd be great. So
Let's see.
nobody's claiming
Those
them.
in bulk? No, and they've been a shortage lately. So
Really?
it's really hard. Sometimes I
Oh.
go to
I messed that up.
no paydays.
No.
You were the winner the first time I spun it.
What's up, man?
It's messed up.
You gotta go to like 3 or 4 7-Elevens to get enough
I know.
paydays. to support this office.
It's crazy.
I don't get it.
No, you do.
It's all in a day. No, but seriously,
What was it? BW?
Yeah.
I saw that you put out a Friday on the TGIF about the earnest money deposit fine.
Yes, yes, yes.
And
It's
it
serious.
sparked my mind to look, if you go to sagetitlegroup.com, you can actually have your clients send the earnest money deposit from the website,
Love that.
you know.
Love that.
I don't know where to look either.
I know, just look everywhere.
Everywhere. So it reminded me because those were real fines, right? It was
Yeah,
like
yeah.
$500,
Yeah, $500,
$1,000,
$1,000, $600.
Or
Yeah.
the Zocom will do it too, you know. 'cause we
Yeah,
don't
but
wanna get into
So
it.
the way I understand it with Zocam, they have to take a picture of a physical check.
Yeah.
But with the link on your website, just like our link using Payload, they can just put in their routing number, account number, and do an electronic transfer. Versus
Yep, really easy.
some people today don't have checks, right? Young people today don't know what a check is.
Exactly.
So Zocam might not work for them,
True.
but the link, the Payload link is very, very convenient.
Yeah, so.
It's right here at the top.
Right
Yeah.
there, look at
Oh,
that.
thank you. That's beautiful.
Yes,
Yeah, thank you.
that's it.
Yeah, right there. And
So-
it has the calculator on there.
Yeah, so
Title
if you guys,
calculator.
as agents, go and click on title calculator, it'll allow you to create your own personal profile. That way, in collateral that you print from this website will be co-branded with Brian and you, which is really nice when you're presenting the closing cost expectation to a buyer or a seller.
Right. And that home buyer guide's on there too. I know Sharon, when we're doing those launch classes, we always go through that home buyer guide under resources, free
Yep.
resources.
Cool.
And also the exchange where you can pull up your Alta statements for the new orders that have been coming in. I know we all need those Altas.
Very good.
So just a revamp. Thank you for putting that up on the screen. That actually brightens my day.
I actually do want to say something about doing it. When you use the Payload, the Sage version of Payload, it does not create a case sheet. When you use the Long and Foster version of Payload, it creates a case sheet, and that's the case sheet you fill out. If you use Sage's Payload, you have to create your own case sheet.
And they're trying to fix that, so eventually it will work.
That's until then, that's what we have to do.
That's right. That's right. They're aware of that, though. Thank you.
And just an FYI, I accidentally spun the wheel twice.
Oh,
So if you look on the screen, Sharon was the first winner, and I went to move the other screen and it spun a second time. So Cordell was the second one.
So we got Sharon and
Sharon-
Cordell are the
Sharon
two
was the
winners.
first winner.
All right, very cool.
okay. So
Very cool.
however we work that,
So somebody,
congratulations.
so very
I
good.
did.
So thank you all very much. Very
Thank
humble.
you.
Very humble.
Yeah, man, absolutely. Yeah, thank you, Brian, appreciate it. So, cool, well, that was a lot of information today, a pretty productive sales meeting, I think, so thank you guys for being here. Mom, do you have anything you wanted to add or share?
Well, I could just say that I did go in and have a client do the EMD on Sage, and it was very, very easy. And I know that Brian has been telling us for years that we could do the estimates on Sage. And for the first time, I did that. And it was my seller was very receptive to it. And it was very easy because I was able to, actually I did it twice. I was able to put in a figure and say, okay, this is what you net. And then I put in another figure and this is what you would net. And so it was really, really easy. So, and Brian always helps me out in my launch class. That's the last class that we have every month. And it's really good material, definitely good material. So thank you, Brian, for that.
So their website too is sagetitlegroup.com. Just remember that.
Yeah, it's really easy. It's sagetitlegroup.com. Yeah.
And there's an app.
Mm-hmm.
And there's an app. Yeah, so very cool. Yeah, so that's another thing. If you guys don't know, make sure you get the Save Sell Group app on your phone. Also, make sure that you get your Prosperity Home Mortgage app on your phone, because this is a co-branded app that you can share with your clients. So it's got your picture on it, and it's got your favorite loan officer's picture on it. For most of us, that would be John Howe, since he works in these two offices. But it's really cool when you share that app with your client, because every time your client goes in there tinkering with different hypothetical mortgage payments or closing costs, you can get notified. The loan officer gets notified that, hey, Jane Doe is back in the app again, testing mortgage payments. So it might be a good reminder to you then to reach out to Jane Doe and say, hey, just saw this new listing pop up, thought maybe you want to check it out. So yeah, make sure that you get those apps.
If you're unsure about that Prosperity app, you can email Cheyenne or Lindsay,
Yes.
and they'll get you the link to it being branded specific to you and John.
Yes.
I think Kelly tried to say something earlier.
No, I was just gonna say that I use Sage Title like almost every day. The app is like unbelievable. And actually, I think he gets a ding when we go in there. Brian does. So it's a wonderful app.
Good. Questions, comments, concerns? Thank you for being here, Marilyn. Good to see you. Pam,
And
thank
remember,
you for being here.
Jason's
to see
available
you.
24/7.
Yeah, well, somewhere in between the 24 and the 7 is probably more accurate. Yeah. So.
Oh, you know what?
Bill.
Hey, I have a quick question. You know what? We could probably put information of those apps on the back of our business cards.
That's a good point. You could, certainly could. Yeah, ask about our apps. The Real Scout, I mean, talking about apps, there's also a consumer facing Real Scout app that would be tied directly to you as the primary agent of record for every listing in the MLS. So if you're not sharing that Real Scout app with your clients, you should be doing that. So there is, they can go on there, they can create listing alerts, they can save their favorite properties, they can message you directly through the app. They can send you properties that maybe they're interested in, they can rate properties, they can search by every search criteria available in RAIN, which is a lot, school districts and otherwise. And it's tied directly to you as their agent. So make sure that you guys are taking advantage of that app as well. So yeah, we could list out the apps that your clients could use on our cards.
Jason, I have another thought, if I can add. So for years, all of you guys know, Jason has been pushing listings to leads, right? Okay, I finally did it. I went on there. Okay, I finally did it. It's only taken me, what, 3 years to do this? Okay, but I finally did it, and I set up my social media, and I have some automatic posts going, and I've had a couple of leads come in, put my listing out there, and it was a lot easier than I thought. All this time I've been like putting it off and putting it off, and I finally decided, okay, I need to get on this wagon. So I did. So I would encourage everybody that hasn't done that to do that. So as an aside too, I have 2 mentors that I'm meeting with on Friday. So if anybody's still interested in the Getting to Goal program, that is up and running now. So you can reach out to Jason or me about that, and we can fill you in on what that encompasses. Cool.
Yeah, I appreciate you bringing that up. Thank you. So Getting to Gold. That's right.
Gold.
That's the goal, right?
Yeah.
Everyone's goal. I know. So platinum. She's going platinum. So, all right, guys, that's it. We'll wrap it up for today. Thank you all very much for being here. We'll see you again on Friday. Yeah. So,
Thank you.
Bye.
bye. See ya.